Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be my monthly low buy update. It has been 9 months since I started this at the beginning of the year. And in this update, I'm going to show you the products that I purchased. And also I'm going to kind of give you some numbers of the things that I've bought on my low buy. I did do an intro at the beginning of the year detailing all of my rules, and I've been doing monthly updates, and then I also have some low buy tips and tricks videos. All of that can be found in my makeup and consumerism playlist, so I will link that in the cards and in the description box. If you're interested in the makeup I'm wearing, I will list that as well in the description box along with my nail polish as usual, and let's get started. Let me show you the products that I purchased. I bought 5 things this month, and I did buy a blush. These 3 things I got at the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. So I got this blush by Buxom, and it is the Wanderlust blush in Seychelles. And I've used this several times, and I love it. I talked about this in my recent favorites video. I've used it in Get Ready With Me's. I really love this blush. This was only $12, and it's a really nice formula, long-lasting, beautiful color. I've wanted one of these for so long, so I'm very excited about that. And then, like I said at the end, I'll kind of recap the numbers of all of the different products that I've kind of bought this year. I did also buy a foundation at the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, and I'm kind of not that into this. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So this is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation Full Coverage Moisturizer. My issue with it is it does not last very well throughout the day. It looks good at first for a couple of hours, but by the end of the day, it sinks into my lines here and here so badly, way more than my other foundations. So I'm going to keep this. I don't love returning makeup unless it's something I really, really hate. So I think this is fine. I don't mind having a foundation that isn't that long wearing for days where I'm just gonna like go to dinner and maybe a drink and then come home and wash my makeup off. You know, if it's something like that where I'm only gonna wear makeup for 3 or 4 hours, I don't really wanna waste any of my long wearing foundations anyway. So it's fine to have something like this around, but I really don't know that I don't think I'd repurchase that. And then the other Ulta 21 Days of Beauty purchase, I am so excited about this. This is the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in the shade, what is it? Oh, Boss Up. I wore this in my eyeshadow palette declutter video. It's like a rosy mauve, and it's beautiful. I had a different shade in this formula a few years ago. I had one of the lighter neutrals, and I completely finished it up. I love this formula. This is one of the best liquid lipstick formulas. So yeah, this was $12. Full price, these are $24, but I think this is one of the most comfortable liquid lipstick formulas. I know a lot of people aren't into liquid lipstick that much anymore. Personally, I like liquid lipstick more than I like regular bullet lipsticks. So this, I'm so happy to have one of these again. Like I said, I have finished one before in a different shade. The Buxom blush is amazing. I've wanted one for a long time. This, not great, but is what it is. All right, and I did buy 2 eyeshadow palettes this month. So I did finally buy the Zendo palette. I've been talking about all year that I did want to buy this palette, and I was gonna wait for a sale, but I ended up not. The reason I ended up getting it was that at Sephora, they had like 500 extra points with a $50 purchase or something like that. So I was like, you know what? I've been wanting the Zendo. I'll go ahead and get it. You get some extra points. Anyway, I've used this, I think, 4 times. I love this palette. Natasha Denona is definitely probably my #1 favorite eyeshadow formula brand at this point. I love the color story. I know some people have had some problems with this palette. Personally, I have not. And I have used all the shades at this point. I did a look with these blues and the gold. I was also wearing that with this in my eyeshadow palette declutter video I did a couple weeks ago. I love this. I do want to do a Get Ready With Me using this palette at some point. I was going to do that today, but I just did not have time to film that. But personally, I love this palette. I'm so glad that I bought it. I don't even care that I paid full price, $65. I think it's amazing. I love Natasha Denona. And then I did get another palette that I've wanted all year. This I did get 50% off. The Urban Decay Ultraviolet, Naked Ultraviolet, whatever. This was 50% off on the Urban Decay website, so it was $24. And this is another one that has mixed reviews, but I like to kind of see which YouTubers seem to have the same taste in makeup as I do. And I kind of follow their reviews a little bit more than maybe other people who have kind of different taste in makeup. It doesn't always work out exactly, but several people have said they really, really like this because it is more subtle. So I think the people that were expecting intense pigmentation were very disappointed in this palette. It is more of like a subtle, and I like that it's kind of a colorful palette, but I feel like I can wear this in the daytime. I've only used this twice, but I really, really liked it. And I even got compliments like out in the real world on my eyeshadow looks. I think it is, for me, it's like a daytime colorful palette. I like that. I have some really intense multi-chromes and duochromes from indie brands, and they are beautiful, but they're too intense for me to wear during the daytime. That's something I'd probably only wear like on a night out or something. But this, I feel like I could do a dramatic evening look, or I can do a more easy daytime look. So yeah, I've only used this one twice, and I would like to do a get ready with me with this one as well if I have time at some point. Let me know if you do want to see looks with these palettes at some point. I want to film more get ready with me's, but sometimes it's kind of a time issue. So yeah, those are the 5 things that I bought this month. So I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet and kind of give you some numbers. Also, I'm thinking about maybe one little change in my low buy rules. I'll get to that. So, okay, so let me give you some numbers for the year. So I said that I can buy 8 eyeshadow palettes for the whole year. And so far I have purchased 6. For Chic products, that is blush, highlighter, and bronzer, I said I could buy 9 for the year. And including this was number 8. And I've bought almost all blush. I bought some cream blush, I bought 2 cream bronzers, and then powder blushes. I haven't bought any highlighters this year at all. I'm pretty impressed with that. So this was number 8 out of 9. Lip products, I'm allowed to buy 5 for the year. This was number 3, so I could buy 2 more lip products. Then some of the other categories are a little bit different. So mascara is just replacements. I've purchased 3. Under eye powder, just replacements. I bought 1 because I ran out. Foundations, so yeah, including this, I have purchased 4 foundations this year. And my rule with foundation is I'm allowed to have up to 8 at a time in my collection. And I am over 8 now because I did get some in PR. So I won't be buying foundation for a while because I would have to use some up. Setting spray, I've bought 2 primers. I bought an eyeliner. I bought 1 face powder a couple months ago. I've bought 1 concealer the whole year. That concealer is the same as foundation. I'm allowed to own up to 8 concealers at once. And I have, I think, 7 concealers right now. And then I bought 1 single shadow. I said a single shadow in a pot. This is not an eyeshadow, but like a single shadow in a pot. I said that magnetic eyeshadows, if I bought 10 of those, that would equal 1 of my palette purchases. I haven't bought any magnetic eyeshadows. I bought 1 eyeshadow in a pot, and sadly, I already decluttered it. I talked about that in my recent eyeshadow declutter. It just did not work out for me formula-wise. So the one change I was maybe thinking was, so when I started this at the beginning of the year, I said that I could buy 8 eyeshadow palettes for the year, and I could buy 2 face palettes. I have not bought any face palettes this year at all. I am interested in the Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm palette. I've heard really good reviews about that. It looks really, really pretty. So what I'm kind of thinking is that if I only buy 1 out of the 2 face palettes, then I could use that palette purchase to purchase another eyeshadow palette, if that makes sense. So I'd still be buying a palette, but it'd just be another eyeshadow palette instead of a face palette. Because yeah, if I only want to buy that 1 Charlotte Tilbury face palette, I don't know, to me it makes sense to transition it over. Again, it's my low buy, so obviously I can just do whatever I want. And I always tell people, I highly recommend just doing what works for you if you're doing a low buy or a no buy. That's what I'm doing. I just made all these rules up for myself. So that's something I'm considering. So that would mean that instead of 2 face palettes, I could buy 1, and then instead of 8 eyeshadow palettes, I could buy 9. But it's the same amount of products. So I'm kind of considering that because there are several eyeshadow palettes still on my wish list for the year. Natasha Denona Retro, Natasha Denona Biba. I've wanted that since it came out. Utopian Dream from Pat McGrath. The Charlotte Tilbury Holiday palette. So I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but since I bought 2 palettes this month, my goal is to hold off on palette purchases, maybe till the Sephora VIB sale. I'm not sure even when that would be. I think that's usually end of October or beginning of November. So I'm gonna try to hold off, especially because my wish list is Natasha Denona. She also does do a Black Friday sale, but I feel like the website had issues the last couple of years with that, so I don't know that I want to mess around with that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, so far I have purchased 6 eyeshadow palettes. I really love the 2 palettes I got this month, but I also want to use them more, so I don't want to rush into buying more palettes. But overall, I feel like my low buy is going well. And for me, this is so many less products than I purchased in the last few years. Even when I was on a low buy in 2019, which was a beauty budget, I'm purchasing way less this year than I did at that point. So I'm really happy with how this is going. For me, this is a huge, huge cut down on what I've been spending on makeup by a lot, even compared to 2019 when I was on a low buy. Last year I wasn't on a low buy at all, but yeah, for me, this is working. I feel like I'm getting to try out new products, still trying out some new things, but I'm not buying so much that I can't use the makeup I already own. That was my big issue. I think last year I started buying a lot of eyeshadow palettes in particular. And by the end of the year last year, I had so many eyeshadow palettes that I'd only used 2 or 3 times ever, which is pretty sad. I don't want to be in that situation. And even this year, having only bought 6 palettes through the year, there's still quite a few palettes in my collection that I've only used like once this whole year, or there's a couple I haven't even used at all. So, but that's also why I'm doing the Reviving Old Palettes series. So yeah, those are Get Ready With Me's using older palettes. So check that out if you are interested. But that is it. I'm really happy with how it's going. So I may change that one rule about an extra palette purchase if I don't purchase 2 face palettes. To me, I think that would make sense, and I don't really think it's that big of a deal. So yeah, that's it. This is going well for me. I'm proud of myself. I am happy with this. You know, I set my rules up so that it was doable for me, but it is still a big decrease from what I was buying last year and even the year before. And I'm getting to enjoy the makeup I already own and bought in the past. So that is it. So if you do want to see the other low buy videos, check out the makeup and consumerism playlist. If you're on a low buy or no buy, let us know how that is going. That is it. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.